Hello. I made myself too small there. Okay, hello. Today, I want to talk about story and how to make a good story and what are the five main ingredients. Well, if you think about this, perhaps it's best to think of a story first of all and have that in your mind. Like, what's a great movie or a story that you've heard recently? What made it great? Well, I'm going to imagine, let's see, I'll choose a story that maybe everybody knows. Cinderella, the story of Cinderella, meeting her prince, putting the shoe on her foot, and living happily ever after. Right, if you know the basic idea of the Cinderella story, maybe this will help us as we look at what makes a good story. Well, it says here every great story answers five key questions, according to blogger Nathan Bow. I saw this on a newsletter somewhere. So these are the five questions you must answer to make a good story. Number one, who is your main character? The person who goes on the adventure, the person with something at stake, the person we're interested in. Well, in the Cinderella story, it's easy. Cinderella is the main character, right? Every story usually has just one main character. Number two, what do they need? You need something, so do your characters. Give them a need, a desire, a goal. Make your audience know your characters are worth their time. Give them opinions, strengths, and weaknesses. Even if the audience doesn't like your character, they'll be intrigued by her, they'll be interested in her. Well, what do they need? What does Cinderella need? She needs a good man. But she needs a father, doesn't she? Because what happens? Her father dies, is it? And then the stepmother takes over, and then she has a miserable time. She has three ugly stepsisters. She needs a new family, really, doesn't she? Or she needs love. All of those things. She desperately needs a new, something better in life, doesn't she? To escape her evil stepmother and stepsisters. Number three, why can't they get it? Why can't they get what they want, this character? There must be tension. It's what keeps the pages turning and the eyes glued to the screen. The audience wants your character to struggle, the more the better. Well, why can't they get it? Because the stepmother is evil and the stepsisters are evil, and they are stopping Cinderella from having her dreams. And she has no money and she has to work for them. So she has a miserable time. Now, number four, how do they overcome? As your characters overcome their obstacles, we can better see who they really are. In the Cinderella story, of course, she has her fairy godmother who comes and gives her a magic dress and magic slippers and gives her a chance to escape just for a few hours to the ball. And because she's so beautiful and wonderful, the prince falls in love with her dancing, I guess. She's a good dancer. And then number five, how do they change? Your character needs to go through obstacles so challenging they're forced to come out the other side a different person. Highlight that change. I was once this, but now I'm this. Well, it's a very dramatic change for Cinderella. She's no longer the servant. She becomes the queen, doesn't she, for the king, for the prince's wife. So she overcomes her low position as a kitchen help to now being the queen of the land. So how does she do that? I'm not quite sure. Well, of course, with magical help, but through love, which is exactly what she needs to solve her problems. She's looking for love. So she's now a completely different person. She's a complete person, brave enough and strong enough to stand up to her stepmother and her stepsisters and say, "Get away! I'm free. I'm independent." Right? Well, that's a simple story, Cinderella. But I think every story, every good story, has these five elements. So maybe if you next time you watch a movie, see if they have these five elements. So, okay, three questions. Number one, well, if you think about a story, try and get a story that you know, or a movie, or something, or a book that you've read. Who is the main character of the story you know well? Number two, what is their main need? What do they need? What's their problem? And number three, how do they change by the end of the story? In fact, if you think about it, all stories are about change, how we deal with life and change. Some are better than others, but that's a basic story, isn't it? How do we change? Okay, you have your questions. Good luck. Think of a good story, and then it makes it clearer, these things. Okay, thank you very much. I'll turn this off now. See you soon. Bye-bye.